So good morning everyone. My name is Lalit Soni and you are watching Drishti IAS. In this live session, we will be talking about the Indian Express newspaper. So if you are aware about the current affairs of the last week, you will be seeing that we have come up with the budget. We have started our economic survey as well. So when we talk about these two aspects over here, we have already made a special video for economic survey as well as budget. So you can go and watch that particular video. Other than that, we will be discussing that in briefly today in our session, budget and economic survey. We will be just talking about the highlights over here. Okay, so that is there. Other than that, you can go and actually watch the special videos which has been uploaded on our YouTube channel. So you can go and see the complete analysis over there. Okay, for your exam point of view, when we talk about UPSC, you know that if you go through the PYQs, you will be knowing that budget and economic survey is quite important. Direct question on the basis of the concept has been asked, or from the schemes which has been covered has been asked in the, you can say, previous year questions. Okay, coming to the next one, PM Dhan Dhanya mission that has been announced in budget, and it is with respect to the agriculture sector. So we will be talking about that over here. Then what is M23 in Congo? Congo is witnessing some kind of conflicts recently. Okay, and we will be seeing that why this group or organization M23 is in news. So we will be talking about that. Other than that, there are certain other, you can say, aspect of the news which are there. We will be talking about that. That is US trade war started, where we talk about the USA has put some kind of tariffs on the China, Canada, Mexico or Mexico. Okay, India is not part of this list yet, but there are chances that in the future we will also be seeing some kind of tariffs. Okay, so that is we will be discussing over here. Other than that, we will be discussing the impacts of AI today. Okay, so all these things we will be discussing. After that, there, for your own read, there is one article which is related to UCC in Uttarakhand. Okay, which has been discussed various times, so I will not go into details of this article, but you can go and read this particular article if you are interested in that. Coming to the next one, we'll be starting with the fact of the day and the geography through map. You know that what these sections are. Fact of the day, we discuss some of the important fact which has been based or otherwise important for us, so that is there. Other than that, geography through map, here we will be talking about the static aspects of the India. Okay, so that's about it. Okay, so now let's start with the discussion over here. First, we'll be starting with the fact of the day. Now, recently, Makhana has been in news. Makhana is a kind of crop. Okay, it is an aquatic crop which has been in news recently, because when we talk about the budget, so in the budget also there was our finance minister has said that they will be setting up a Makhana board. Makhana board in Bihar. Okay, why in Bihar? Because Bihar is the largest producer of makhana in India. If we talk about the contribution, you can say that nearly 80% of the makhanas are actually produced and processed in Bihar. Okay, so we'll be considering that. Now see, makhana, when we talk about it, is generally called as foxnut, commonly known as the makhana, is an aquatic crop. Aquatic crop means that it will be cultivated in the stagnant water. Okay, so here you can say it is grown in the stagnant perennial water bodies like ponds, land depressions, oxbow lakes or swamps and ditches. Okay, so that is how makhana cultivation is done. So it is an aquatic crop. Coming to the next one, it is a plant of tropical and the subtropical regions. So you will be seeing that in the Southeast Asia and China we have such you can say crop which is there. Makhana plant is considered as the native of Southeast Asia and China, but distributed to almost every part of the world, that is there. Coming to the next one, required climatic conditions. When we talk about a particular crop, every crop has a specific condition in which that will be grown. Okay, so here temperature requirement is somewhere around 200 degree to, sorry, that is 20 degree to 35 degree. Okay, please note that this is a degree and not 0. Okay, that was a mistyping. 20 degree Celsius to 35 degree Celsius. Okay, now why we are discussing about these climatic conditions? Because in the PYQs you will be seeing that they have asked about various crops in which they have given the climatic conditions, and they have asked that which crop they are talking about. Okay, that is why analysis of PYQ becomes important for you. PYQs are like Bible for you. You have to consider all of them. You have to practice them efficiently. Okay, so that is there. So On the basis of that, I have taken this, that is required climatic conditions, which has been asked earlier about different crops. There are chances that they might ask about makhana because it was in news. Okay, so temperature requirement is 20 degree to 35 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity, if we talk about, that is 50% to 90%. Annual rainfall 100 to 250 centimeters. And when we talk about the soil, that is basically smooth and loamy soil. Okay, so that are the areas where you will be seeing the alluvial soil, or the, you can say, areas with stagnant water, wherein you can cultivate makhanas. Okay, now let's move further. Geography, okay, when we talk about makhana production in India, so here you can say in India it is mainly distributed in the states of Bihar, West Bengal, Manipur, Tripura, Assam, Jammu and Kashmir, Odisha, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. Okay, but commercially produced in few states only. Now in these areas you can see there is production, but when we talk about commercial production for the sale, etc., that is done in only few states. Okay, and when we talk about the commercial production, the Bihar, West Bengal and Manipur are one of the important, you can say, states. Now Bihar in India is the leading state in the production and the processing. Now this is something which you should remember, and you can see it is estimated that Bihar accounts for more than 80% of the total makhana production in the country. That is why we are setting up a makhana board in Bihar. Also in this budget you will be seeing that Bihar has been given specific attention, or you can say emphasis, okay, for various reasons. Here you will be seeing that if we talk about the Mithila paintings, so our finance minister has wore a sari on which Mithila painting was there. So that Mithila painting is the something which is covered in the art and culture related aspect of the UPSC syllabus. So you can consider that as well. Now coming to the next one, geography through map. Herein we will be talking about the Chambal river. Okay, we have talked about Ganga, we have talked about, you know, when Yamuna. Now we will be coming to the Chambal. Now Chambal is an important tributary of Yamuna river. Yamuna is a tributary of Ganga river. So you can say Chambal is basically part of the Ganga river system. Okay, so here you can say it is important river in the Malwa plateau region. Okay, so you should know that where Malwa is, because we have already discussed that in the geography through map section over here. Now it is tributary of Yamuna, Gangetic drainage system. It is you know, basically there in the, you know, areas of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh. Right now when we are talking about this particular you know, Malwa plateau, so it is there. Coming to the next one. Now when we see Chambal river, Chambal has a flow which is there in the region of Malwa and which is there in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so that is there. It is one of the most pollution free river. Okay, so that is something which is rare, but you can say this is a fact which you should remember. It rises in Vindhya range just south of Mahao, western Madhya Pradesh. So this is something which you should remember, because that is the origin of the river. Now tributaries, if we talk about, so there is Banas and Maize river on the left and Parvati, Kali Sindh, Shipra river on the right. Now we have already discussed about the Parvati and Kali Sindh river earlier as well. Okay, why? Because when we talk about the Parvati, Kali Sindh, the Eastern Canal project which was there in Rajasthan, we have talked about it. Chambal, Parvati, Kali Sindh, Eastern Rajasthan Canal project. We have talked about this with respect to the Ranthambore Tiger Reserve. Okay, you should know that. Now, if we talk about the major dams on this river, this is your Gandhi Sagar Dam, Rana Pratap Sagar Dam and the Jawar Sagar Dam, that you should remember. Now, this is the, you can say, picture of the basin of Chambal river. Now, this is your Chambal river. This is Yamuna and here this is the Chambal river. Okay. So you will be seeing that in Madhya Pradesh and then some part of Uttar Pradesh it is flowing, and you know, Rajasthan also it has, when we are talking about the Kota region, you will be finding that Chambal is there, Chambal barrage is also there. So all these things are important. Now talking about the tributaries, here you can see this is your Banas. Okay, so that is Banas. Coming to the next one, here Kali Sindh is there, Parvati is there. Okay, you know that this is when we talk about you know, this area, that is Chambal river. Now this particular region is your Yamuna river, and here you can say Sindh, Betwa, Kane, it is there. Kane and Betwa is also important. You should know that. Okay. Now let's move further to the next one. Before that, I would like to tell you that ISGS Foundation course for at our Noida Sector 15 center, it is available and it is starting from 17th of February in English medium, and for Hindi medium that is 21st of February. Okay, timings are given over here. You can directly visit the center of Drishti IAS in Noida Sector 15, or you can call on this number, that is 87501 87501. Okay. Now let's move further and start with our discussion with respect to the today's newspaper discussions. Hold on. Okay, so when we are talking about the budget here, this is the front page of the yesterday's newspaper, wherein they have mentioned few things over here. Taxpayer Thanksgiving, because they have said that up to 12 lakh rupees you will be getting rebates. Okay, so if a person who is earning 12 lakh rupees, they do not have to pay tax. Okay, that is one thing. Second, if you are from the salaried class, you don't have to pay tax for 12 lakh 75,000 rupees. So for, you can say, the taxpayer, this is a good thing. Okay, so that is why you can say that it is a budget for the taxpayers or the middle class. And that is, you can say, when we are talking about the current situation of the Indian economy. Okay, Indian economy is still the fast growing economy in the world, but the problem is that it has some kind of short term issues. Okay, like our demand is not growing very well, so our target is to grow the demand. Okay, demand, that means consumption demand, like consumption. Now, how will you increase the consumption demand? Okay, for the consumption demand, that means that people ask for more commodities. How will you do ensure that when you have more money in the hands of the middle class, if you have money with the middle class will do one thing, that either they will be going for saving or they will be going for the spending or the expenditure. If they are going for the expenditure, that means that they will increase the demand, they will ask for the commodities from the market, and if demand is increasing, that means that your production will also have to increase. Okay, and that means you can say that demand can be a driver of the economic growth. Okay, so now since we are focusing on the economic growth, our primary objective should be to increase the demand. Okay, so that is there. Now here you can see other option is that they will be going for the saving. Now if they are going for the saving, ultimately they will have some money in their household. What they will do with that money? They will go for the investment. Okay, so where they will invest? They will invest in the market, mutual funds, stocks. Otherwise they will be putting it into the you can say deposits. Okay, fixed deposits, etc. Ultimately all that money will be used for the investment. Okay, so that is how they have ensured that. How you are ensuring that money is there with the hand of the middle class? That is how that you don't have to pay tax up to 12 lakh rupees. Okay, that means that if person is paying less tax, that means that it will have he will have more money, he or she will have more money in the hand, and they will go for either saving or the expenditure. Okay, so that is the idea behind this discussion over here. Now coming to the specifics over here, you can see people's budget force multiplier. It is about filling the pockets of the citizens. Okay, how? By reducing the tax. Coming to the next one, the economy recipe for 6% plus growth, tight grip for fiscal and the when we talk about the net GDP ratio on the new focus. When we talk about the fiscal prudence, they will be focusing on that. And other than that, the states several schemes for pole bound Bihar, and opposition rule says nothing for them. Okay, hold on. Okay. Now, income up to 12 lakhs, tax free, consumption, capex, key drivers. Capex, that is capital expenditure. Capital expenditure on the asset creation. Okay, coming to the second one, that is consumption, that by increasing the demand or the consumption, they will try to boost the economy. Now there are some kind of brackets has been given over here, we will be talking about that later. Now bid to bring trust back into the taxpayers exchequer. Ultimately they are talking about the taxes over here. Then rupees 80,000 a year and up, banking on increase in taking home to spur spend. Okay, again they are talking about the banking sector over here. All these things are not important for you because all these sections has been discussed in the budget analysis. Now no new ideas, it does not address the root problems that has been said by the you can say the opposition, so that is not important for us. If you talk about the union budget, there are some of the important things which is you should remember, that is macro analysis. Okay, when we talk about the macro economy, they are talking about the debt to GDP, new metrics for the fiscal prudence. Coming to the next one, infrastructure, new nuclear mission is there, and they have said that they will be amending the Atomic Energy Act and the you can say Civil Nuclear Liability Act which is there. So all those things will be amending so that they can go for the ease of doing business. Then personal finance, 100% FDI in insurance, which has been allowed earlier, it was 75%. Now that has been increased to 100%. Okay. Coming to the next one, capital gain tax on FII is 12.5%. Social sector, cancer care at the district hospitals, health cover for the gig workers. Okay. Then manufacturing, national manufacturing mission. Now this is something important, that is national manufacturing mission. Coming to the next one, custom duty on the several products. That custom duty, if on the several product it is increasing, that means that it will impact the, you can say, raw material as well. Okay. So that is there. Idea is to go for more and more domestic production, so that you don't have to go for the imports. Okay. Coming to the next one, MSME. So for the they have actually changed the definition of MSMEs with respect to the investment and the turnovers. We will be talking about that. Other than that, they have ensured that easy access to the credit should be there. Okay. Then all these things you can go through explained in the editorial page. Now coming to the specifics. Now if we talk about what is the theme of the budget over here. So here you can say theme was Sabka Vikas. Okay. Broad principle of the Viksit Bharat. When we talk about the Sabka Vikas, ultimate aim is to go for the Viksit Bharat. Okay. Now what is Viksit Bharat? What are the principle of the Viksit Bharat? So they have discussed in the budget speech that zero poverty, 100% good quality school education, access to high quality, affordable and the comprehensive health care, 100% skilled labor with meaningful employment, 70% women in the economic activities, and then farmers making our country the food basket of the world. Now these are the aspiration of the budget which has been discussed over here. Now coming to the next one, in the journey of development or in the destination, that is your Viksit Bharat. Viksit Bharat is our destination. It is guided by the spirit, that is of inclusivity. Okay. And what is the fuel? Fuel is the structural reforms. We will be using the structural reforms as the fuel, and we will be going for the Viksit Bharat. Now when you are going for it, what kind of engine you are using? There are four components of the engine of development, that is called as here agriculture, MSME, investment and the export. So these four elements are there on which budget was actually based on. Okay. Development measures focusing on the Garib, youth, Annadata and Nari. These are the four castes which has been discussed by our Prime Minister Modi last year. Okay. So that is why they have focused on these four sections of the society. Now Atmanirbharta in pulses. When we talk about the you can say agriculture sector, first pillar, there is this Dhan Dhanya scheme. Dhanya Dhanya mission is there. Okay. Other than that, there is a mission for the Atmanirbharta in pulses. Name itself says that we have to go for the more pulses production, so that we don't have to go for any kind of imports. Okay. So that is there. So we'll be talking about that. Now Atmanirbharta in pulses, this is a 6-year mission with special focus on tuar, urad and masoor dal. Okay. So these three are important for you. Now it is your job to go and check for the, you can say, cultivation conditions of tuar, urad and masoor dal. Okay. Then coming to the next one, development and the commercial availability of the climate resilient seeds, enhancing protein content, increasing productivity and improving post harvest storage. Okay. Now when we talk about the increasing productivity, that is basically they are having this you can say when we talk about the areas like, let's say Madhya Pradesh. Okay. So Madhya Pradesh is having some of the agricultural economy, etc. But the thing is, it is kind of still behind various states. Why? Because the productivity is less. Now the thing is, we have to focus on the productivity as well. Now coming to the next one, improving post harvest storage. Okay. Post harvest storage means that once you are you have done your when we talk about the crop cultivation and all, harvesting has been done, and now you have to go for the storage. Where you will store, that is the post harvest infrastructure. Okay. So they are talking about that, they will be improving that. Coming to the next one, management and assuring remunerative prices to the farmer. Okay. So this is about the Atmanirbharta in pulses that has been discussed in the budget. Now moving further, new tax regime. If we talk about earlier, when we talk about the existing regime, you will be seeing that under new tax regime we have existing tax slabs, that is up to 3 lakh rupees, no tax, 3 to 7 lakh rupees, 5% tax, 7 to 10 lakh rupees, 10% tax, 10 to 12 lakhs, 15%, and 12 to 15 lakh, you have to go for the 20%, and above 15 lakh, 30%. This was the tax rates earlier. Okay. Now they have proposed this one. This is the new slab. Up to 4 lakh rupees, no tax, 4 to 8 lakh rupees, 5% tax, 8 to 12 lakh rupees, 10% tax, 12 to 16 lakh rupees, 15% tax, 16 to 20 lakh rupees, 20% tax, 20 to 24 lakh rupees 25% tax, and above 24 lakh rupees 30% tax. Now this is the proposed tax slabs. Now initially I told you that up to 12 lakhs you will not be paying any tax, but you are saying that here if you are going for the 12 lakh rupees you have to pay 10% tax. Okay, what I said was that this is the existing tax slab. Okay, but under the Income Tax Act, some of the rebates and exemptions are there. Here you can see tax-free income limit increased, no income tax for total income up to 12 lakh per annum under the new tax regime. Rebate has been given under the section 87A of the Income Tax Act. Okay, when we talk about the Income Tax Act, there are certain rebates which has been discussed over here, and now if you consider all the rebates, okay, after that you will be seeing that you don't have to pay tax up to 12 lakh rupees. Now if you are a salary class person, okay, salaried class person, for that you will be having an extra exemption of 75,000. so if you are a salary class person and you are having a salary up to 12.75 lakh or 12 lakh 75,000, you don't have to pay any taxes. Okay, so that is the confusion if you have. So know that these are the tax slabs, but if there are some kind of rebates which are applicable to you, then you don't have to pay any tax up to 12 lakh rupees. Okay, so that is there. Now coming to the next one, what the survey says, key takeaway from the government's report on the Indian economy. Again, on the survey also we have had uploaded a special video which is talking about the survey. You can go and watch that, but I'm giving you some of the specifics or the overview of the survey. Okay, so let's see. Hold on. Okay. State of the Indian economy. Okay, when we talk about the survey is basically giving you the idea of the Indian economy, how the economy has performed in the past year and what are the prospects for the future. Okay, so India's real GDP growth projected at 6.4% in the financial year 25, and for the next financial year, that is financial year 26, we are expecting that growth will be around 6.3% to 6.8%. Okay, so that is there. Now coming to the next one, sectoral performance, if we are talking about, so agriculture sector continues to operate above the trend level, that is 16% GDP contribution in financial year 2024. Industrial sector rebounded strongly after the post you can say COVID pandemic. Okay, so here industrial sector has rebounded. Here you can say 6.2% growth in the financial year 2025. Okay, coming to the next one, that is your service sector stabilizes. Okay, service sector stabilized at the pre-pandemic level, which we have seen. When we talk about the industrial sector and the service sector, they have come to stabilization and industrial sector is performing better. Okay, services sector stabilized at the pre-pandemic growth level, that is 55.3% of the gross value added in the financial year 2025. Okay, now what we are seeing is that all the sectors of the economy are doing good, but again, since we have to follow that we are going for the 6.3 to 6.8% of the growth path, then for that you need to have consumption demand. Why is that? Because our exports are not performing very well. Okay, our exports are doing better but not performing very well, so that is why you have to go for the consumption demand only. Okay, now employment, if we talk about, so India's labor market is improving post pandemic, supported by the economic recovery and the formalization. In the further slides we'll be talking about a graph on the unemployment rate as well. Okay, so here you can say survey's recommendation if we talk about, so the key recommendation is to boost the consumer demand. Okay, consumer demand, that is your consumption. Okay, so boost consumer demand by simplifying the regulation and the reducing the business cost. Okay, so ultimately what they are saying that if you go for the simplification in the regulations, okay, so if you are going for the ease of doing business, that means that you will be having lower cost. Okay, if you are having lower cost, that means that you can say consumer will buy more. Coming to the next one, advocates for the deregulation to increase the investment and the job creation. Again, if you are going for the deregulation, that means that private sector will have a little bit of free hand. Okay, if private sector has a free hand, that means that they will perform and ultimately private sector will go for more investment and the more jobs. Okay, emphasize the need for the structural reforms to sustain long-term economic growth. You have to go for the global best practices so that you can invest more and you ultimately contribute to the economic growth. Change in the survey mood. Okay, so here you can see the survey acknowledges while the medium term growth prospects are strong, global uncertainties pose challenge. So basically what they are saying is that medium term growth prospects are strong. Okay, India is still the fastest growing country and we are having hopes for India's economy. But the thing is, geopolitical tensions are there. Okay, global uncertainties are there. So we have to be cautious about that. So this time outlook is cautious. Okay, this time outlook with respect to the Indian economy, survey has given a cautious outlook towards it. Last time it was optimism. Okay, last time we were optimism, we were having this optimistic trends. That's why we had this outlook, that is optimism. This time we are having cautious outlook. Okay, so that is about the economic survey related broad aspects. Now coming to the PM Dhan Dhanya mission for the pulses. Okay, so here PM Dhan Dhanya, one is there, that is PM Dhan Dhanya Yojana scheme, whatever you say. Second is your mission for the pulses. Mission for pulses we have already discussed. Mission for seeds as well. Okay, so let's see. PM Dhan Dhanya Yojana is basically to enhance the productivity in the low productive areas. How they will decide that which are the low productive areas? So they will be going for the 100 districts. They will select which are having the low productivity. Okay, so here you can see agriculture was one of the 4 engines driving the Indian development, which we have already seen, that is agriculture, MSME, investment and the export. Okay, coming to the next one, overall allocation for the Ministry of Agriculture and the Farmer Welfare has increased by barely 4%. When we talk about the overall expenditure, when we talk about the overall budget, you will be seeing that there is 2.72% has been given for the ministry on the agriculture over here. Last time it was 2.75, that has been decreased to 2.72. okay, so that you should remember. Now coming to the you can say a comprehensive program for the vegetables, fruits, makhana board, which will be set up in Bihar, and the national mission on the high yielding seeds. These are some of the announcements which has been made over here. Now coming to the aspirational district program, on the lines of the aspirational district program, they will be selecting 100 low productive areas and then they will be working on the productivity over there. That is basically PM Dhan Dhanya Yojana. Okay, so 100 districts with the low productivity and the moderate crop intensity and below average credit part preferences. When we talk about the areas where credit is not available for the you can say agriculture, so here you can see 100 districts with low productivity, moderate crop intensity and the below average credit parameters, they will be selected and then their productivity will be increased over here. Okay, increase agricultural productivity, adopt crop diversification, sustainable agriculture practices, improve post harvest storage and after harvest the you can say when we talk about this storage at the panchayat level and block levels, improve irrigation facilities and provide short term and the long term credit. All these things are basically the goals of PM Dhan Dhanya Yojana. Again I am telling you, increasing the productivity, increasing the infrastructure, post harvest infrastructure, irrigation facilities and the short term and the long term credit. Okay, all these things are you can say the goal of PM Dhan Dhanya. Okay, now building rural prosperity and the resilience, that is the goal over here. Now coming to the next one, 1000 crore has been allocated for the mission for pulses, which we have already seen. 500 crore for the mission for vegetables and the fruit, 100 crore for the makhana board, 100 crore for the mission on hybrid seed and 500 crore for the cotton technology mission. Okay, mission on pulses we have already discussed. Over here, hold on. Over here, national mission on the high yielding seed, that will be there. Other than that, when we talk about the mission on the pulses, here I told you there are 3 pulses on which they will be focusing. Okay, that is there. Other than that, there are 2 bodies, that is NAFED and NCCF. They will be ready for the procurement of these crops. Okay, so that is there. Coming to the national mission on the seeds, national mission on the high yielding seeds to enhance the research ecosystem, focus on the developing and the promoting seeds with the high yields, pest resistance, climate resistance, etc. Okay, so that is there. Coming to the enhancing the loan limits, which I have already told you that they will be going for the short term and the long term loans. Other than that, when we talk about the Kisan credit card, so they have increased the limit from 3 lakh to 5 lakh. Okay, so that is one thing. Other than that, there is this modified interest subvention scheme. Okay, under that they have, you can say, when we talk about this Kisan credit card, that is under this particular scheme only. So earlier when we talk about, there is a interest rate which is 9% and they will be given a interest subvention of the 2%, that is your 7% effective interest will be there. Other than that also, if you are going for the timely payment, additional subvention of 3% will be given. Okay, so ultimately the effective rate will be 4% if you are paying back on time. Okay, so that is for the you can say agriculture sector and the farmers. Now moving further to the next one, new urea plant to come up in Assam. Hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm kind of under the weather. Anyway, new area plan to come up in the Assam. Okay, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Saturday announced the setting up of a new urea plant with an annual production capacity of 12.7 lakh tons at Namrup in Assam. Okay, please remember the name Namrup in Assam. Okay, so here we are going for a new urea plant. Okay, before that there are 6 plants which is there already. That is Gapepan in Rajasthan, Ramagundam, that is in Telangana, Panagarh in West Bengal, Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh, Barauni, Bihar, and Sindri, Jharkhand. Okay, these are some of the 6 plants which are already there with respect to the urea, and the 7th one which is there, which is under you can say consideration. 60% of the work has been done over here. Okay, so that is in Talcher, Odisha. Okay, now here you can see all these plants are in the areas which is considered for the new green revolution. Okay, now again when we talk about the green revolution, there are some areas which has actually got preferences like Punjab, Haryana, and they were benefited out of it, but now there are the focus has been shifted to other states as well. So these are considered as the new green revolution states. That is basically your, you can say, the eastern area when we talk about the West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, other than that Telangana and Rajasthan. Okay, so here you can see are located in the new green revolution states of eastern India and Telangana and Rajasthan. Okay, with 7 terminals for handling the imported liquefied natural gas: Mundra, Dahej, Hazira, Kochi, Ennore, and Dhamra. Okay, so these are some of the terminals which are basically dealing with the import of the LPG or the liquefied natural gas, LNG, sorry, not LPG, that is LNG. Okay, now what they are doing is that they are trying to make sure that the you can say urea import is less. We go for the more and more production in the house only. Here you can say viable to import and the transport gas instead of urea in the hinterland. So that is why what they are doing is that in those areas they are setting up the plant. Okay, they are using these pipelines which are there for the transportation of the LNG, but they are saying that instead of urea, transport of the urea, you have to go for the transportation of the LNG, and you will be going for the you can say these plants in the local areas only, so that you can increase the production. Now when we talk about urea, why it is important? Because it is the most used you can say fertilizer in our country. Import of finished urea would make greater sense for feeding the western and the southern markets closer to the ports. Now what they are saying is that for the other areas we are going for the production. For the areas where ports are there, we can go for the urea import, and that will be given until unless we are not having the self-sufficiency. Okay, that is there targeted near Atmanirbharta, self-reliance in urea, which is India's most widely consumed fertilizer. That is there between 2011-12 to 23-24. India's domestic urea production rose from 22 million tons to 11.4 million tons. Okay, so we have increased the production of urea. Now this is a trend which you should remember, that in India urea production has increased in the last, you can say, 10 years. Okay, so that is there. Coming to the next one, when we talk about the import falling, import has fallen from 7.8 million ton to 7.8 million ton to 7 million ton. Okay, so that is there. No, we can say that there is not much decline in the imports, but we have gone for the, you can say, domestic production to cater to our demands, because in the last 10 years demand has also increased and we have increased the production domestically, so we do not have to go for the, you can say, imports over here. So new plant for the urea in Nampur in Assam. Coming to the next one, definition of MSME is widened. Here you can see credit guarantee limit increase has been increased over here. So here earlier when we talk about the micro enterprises, it was 1 lakh crore, sorry 1 crore, not 1 lakh crore, 1 crore. Earlier it was 1 crore and it has been multiplied by 2.5, or you can say it has been increased by 2.5 times. That is now 2.5 crore rupees. If you are having the investment of 2.5 crore rupees, that will be under the micro enterprises. Okay, if we talk about the turnover, so if you currently there is 5 crore turnover is considered as the micro enterprises. Now they have increased it by two times they have increased. So basically now if you are having a turnover of 10 crore, you are still be under the micro enterprises. For the small enterprises, earlier it was 10 crore investment, now it is 25 crore. For the medium enterprises, investment was 50 crore, now it is 125 crore. Okay, so they have basically investment, they have made sure that it is a multiple of 2.5. and when we talk about the turnover, they have doubled it. Okay, so earlier it was for micro it was 5, now it is 10. Small enterprises, it was earlier 50, now it is 100. For medium enterprises, it is from 252, it has been increased to 500. So this is about the new definitions which you should remember, that can be asked in your examinations. Now coming to the next one, unemployment rate, if we are talking about. So in the past trends, if you talk about, that is only important from your trends point of view. You don't have to remember all the data. You just can see that when we talk about the person, male or female, as a person if we consider, so unemployment rate has been declining. Okay, so that is a good thing. When we talk about male, the unemployment rate is declining over here, that is also a good thing. But the problem is that when we talk about females, the unemployment rate was declining, but in financial year 2023 it was 2.9, and in 2024 it has increased to 3.2%. Okay, so that is about the unemployment rate for the two categories, that is person, and for the male that has increased, unemployment rate has decreased. But when we talk about the females, the unemployment rate has increased. Okay, so that is about it. Moving further, India's oil import reliance up at 87.1%. When we talk about the import dependency, I used to tell you that it is more than 85%. Okay, it has increased to 87%, and now it has increased to 88%. Okay, so here you can see some of the data has been given. India's crude oil import dependency reached 88.1% from 87.5% in financial year 2024. Full financial year dependency was 87.8, so showing a rising trend over the years. So basically our import dependency on the oil is still increasing. Okay, reason for the high import reliance, here you can say increased energy demand from the industry. We are going for the economic growth, so demand is increasing, that is their rising vehicle sales and the aviation expansion, all these things are increasing the demand for the oil. Lagging domestic production, we are increasing the demand, but our domestic production of oil is still low, so that is there. Coming to the next one over here, when we talk about the vulnerable oil prices fluctuations, when we talk about the you can say geopolitical situations, so prices are fluctuating, so that is also one of the reasons. Coming to the next one here, oil consumption and the trends, if you talk about in India, so here you can say the petroleum consumption is projected at 241.68 million tons in financial year 25, that is highest ever. Last time it was 234.26 million tons in the next fiscal year, it will be like that. Okay, so coming to the next one, when we are talking about the financial year 25, it was 241.68 million ton. In the next financial year, we are seeing that it will be somewhere around 234.26 million tons. Now, government's effort to reduce the import dependency. So we have said that we will be going for the target to cut the crude oil imports to 67% by 2022, but we have already missed that one. Okay, so that is one thing. Second, encouraging investment in the oil exploration, the biofuel to boost the domestic production, that is their push for the electric mobility and the alternative fuels, but the demand for the conventional fuels is still rising, because when we talk about the industry sector, we are still dependent on the petroleum and the coal. Okay, so that is there. Coming to the next one, India's workforce vulnerable to AI, need robust institution to upskill. Okay, so again in the survey it was a concern has been raised. Okay, so again there was this concern which has been raised in the economic survey, that AI is impacting the workforce. Now how it is doing that, that we will be talking about. Now generally it is said that AI will replace human. Generally people are saying that we will be losing the jobs because of the AI, but that is not true. AI will replace the person who knows, you can say a person who knows AI will replace the person who does not know AI. Okay, so now idea is to make sure that you go for the upgradation of your skill. Okay, so that is there. For that you need institutions, so that has been discussed in the survey, that there should be a institutional mechanism to upskill the workers. Okay, here you can see India's workforce vulnerable to AI, low skill and the low value added jobs are at risk due to the automation. Now low skill and the low value added jobs are at the risk because of the whatever mechanical work is there, AI can do that. Okay, so you have to enhance your skills. So that is one thing. Other than that, need for the robust institution to help workers transition to high skilled jobs. Now what are you saying is that the low skilled job and the low value added jobs are at risk. So what you have to do is that you have to make sure that you upskill yourself and get high skilled jobs. AI is more likely to augment rather than replace the jobs. Now that is what I'm trying to tell you, that AI will not replace human. A human with AI's knowledge will replace another human who does not have the AI knowledge. Okay, so AI is more likely to augment rather than the replace job. Now coming to the next one, AI's potential impact on the employment. It could replace the labor intensive jobs. As I told you, the things which require mechanical work, okay, you know, again and again same repetitive jobs are to be done, that can be replaced by AI. So it could displace the labor intensive jobs, particularly in the developing economies. IMF estimates automation could affect 40% of the global jobs, including a high impact on the developing nations. Okay, need for the AI skills and the workforce adaptation. So basically, when we talk about the, you can say, when computer came back in 90s, at that point of time similar speculations were there that computer will replace the human, but that was nothing of that sort has happened. Okay, now here you can see need for AI skills and the workforce adaptation. Education, skilling, education and the skilling ecosystem is must to evolve. Now if you want that you don't get replaced, so you have to take the knowledge of the AI, and how it will be done through the education or the skilling ecosystem. Now India's working population faces a skill gap in the AI adaptation, so that is the problem because of which you might lose a job. Okay, so that is why you need to have a, you can say, upgradation of yourselves. Now balanced regulatory framework needed to increase the AI while maintaining fair wages and the social stability. So that is there. Coming to the next part over here, that is about the issue which is going on in Congo. Okay, now when we talk about the African countries, most of the time you will be seeing that African countries are in chaos most of the time. Okay, why is that? Because when we talk about the division of these countries, that were done on the map. When we talk about the, you know, colonial masters, what they have done is that they have taken the map and they have divided it like that. You will be seeing that in Africa most of the time you will be finding borders like straight lines. Here you can see this, like this, it is having a border. Here it is like a box. Okay, so mostly you will be seeing that they have carved them out of the map, on the map only. So because of which what has happened is that various ethnicities are having division, or ethnic division is very high. Now ethnic division is there, because of which there are conflict of interest. Okay, so that is one thing. Other than that, second thing is the economic imperialism. Now you will be seeing that Africa is a continent which is resource rich. So various, you can say, MNCs are having, you can say, some kind of ties up. They want the resources over here, and here you will be seeing that there is a crowning capitalism, or the nexus is there with the government. Okay, with the governments are supporting the MNCs over there, and you can see there is this concept of economic imperialism which is going on, because mostly the Western countries are having influence in this particular region, and they are having a sway on the government as well. Now because of which what is happening is that there is a conflict between the interest of government and the public. Okay, public wants job, public wants money, public wants income, but the problem is government is at the play of these MNCs, or they are, you can say, victim of the economic imperialism. They are having this nexus with the MNCs. Okay, because of which the, you can say, interest of the public is suffering, and because of which you will be seeing that most of the time African continent which facing some kind of conflicts. Now there is one thing, that is M23. What is M23? So here you can say on March 23rd, 2009, there was this group, that is Tutsi. They were having a revolt in the, you can say, Democratic Republic of Congo, and at that point of time there was this accord, or the, you can say, agreement which has been signed between the Tutsis and the government, that they will be putting a hold on the you can say revolt, and after that they, you know, a peace, you can say that it was a kind of a peace deal which was signed between the Tutsis and the government. Okay. Now recently in 2022 they have again started to revolt, or you can say started this conflict. Why? Because they have said that government has not fulfilled the promises they have made in the accord. Okay. Now those people who have started this particular conflict again, or the revolution again, this is called as M23, March 23. Okay. So that is an organization which is there against the government. Now recently what has happened is that what they have done is that they have taken control of a few cities over here. Somewhere over here in the eastern Congo, there was this city which has been captured by them. Here you can see Rwandan backed M23 rebels in the Democratic Republic of Congo are seeking to advance south towards the Bukavu, that is the capital of South Kivu. Latest fighting is part of the major escalation of decade-old conflict over the power, identity and the resources. Okay, what is happening? The rebels entered the Goma. This city was Goma. Goma is the capital of the North Kivu province. On 27th of January, they have got the, you can say, control of the Goma, and they have seized the city over here. Hundreds of the government troops has been made to surrender over here. Then coming to the next one, M20 fighters have pushed southwards into the South Kivu, battling to the Congolese army and the allied which are there. Okay, now what is happening is that the Rwanda, okay, Rwanda and Burundi, these are the two countries which are supporting the governments over here. Okay, now they are actually entering into this particular conflict. Now various UN reports etc. are saying that because of they entering into the conflict, that conflict might become of a transboundary nature, or it might have the regional implication. Okay, so that is why here Rwanda, Burundi etc. becomes important. Okay, now it is your homework that you will be going and seeing what are the states which are having boundary with Democratic Republic of Congo. Okay, so that is your homework. So this is the issue over there. Okay, so there is nothing much which you should know about this. Okay, just know that there is this community, that is Tutsi, and other than that there is this Hutus. Hutus has fled from Rwanda, okay, but you don't have to go into such details of this particular area. Okay, they will not ask you about all these things. Just know that there is this place in Congo. They are having this issues over here, and they can, if they ask about M23, you should know that that is March 23, 2009 accord. Okay, so that is about this article. Now why Rwanda is involved over here? Why is that Rwanda and Burundi is involved over here? So that is because the government of the Congo and the United Nations official and the Western powers, including the United Nations, has said that Congo's neighbor Rwanda of fueling the conflict. Okay, so obviously when there is this, something like this, if you are sharing the boundaries, there are high chances that neighbors have some kind of interest in the areas. Okay, so that is there. Rwanda is supplying, you can say, weapons etc. to the M23 over here. Okay, so all these things are there. You can go through this article, but whatever important is there, I have already discussed. Now coming to the next one, India averts first of Trump's tariff volley. China, Mexico and Canada takes the initial hit. Now here they are saying that there are tariffs on the Canada, Mexico and 10% tariff on China. They have also retaliated over here. Now impact on the trade war. So obviously if there are you can say such tariffs are there, so they will also retaliate. Ultimately it will lead into the trade war. India will also face such impacts after, because obviously India is also having a trade surplus, and Mr. Trump is targeting those countries that are having a trade surplus. Okay, potential risk, if we talk about Indian export, remained largely untouched in the first phase. Growing trade competition between India and China that can be there, and future tariffs could impact Indian exports and including the pharmaceutical and the auto parts. So basically what we are saying is right now we have actually remained largely untouched, but in the future that can be there with India. Now what is India's strategy over here? Focus on WTO trade rules and bilateral negotiation. Prime Minister Modi's upcoming US visit could be a crucial in the trade discussions. Okay, so that is there. What is China's response? As I told you that they have actually gone for the similar response, and trade war expected to escalate further. Canada and Mexico retaliation. So Canada has imposed 25% retaliatory tariff on the American goods, and Mexico hints at the countermeasures. Okay, so that is something which was there, and I told you nothing else. This is nothing new which has already been discussed. Hamas free 3 Israeli hostages. WHO transport critically ill Gazan to Egypt. So that peace deal is still going on, and Mr. Netanyahu will be there in the USA, and second phase talks will be starting. Okay, so that is about this article over here. For your own read, there is this article, how the Uttarakhand UCC regulates live-in relations. As I told you that we have discussed this UCC various times, so you can go and give it a read. Okay. Now, in the end, there is this practice question which was given to you in the previous lecture. What is the carrying capacity of the next generation launch vehicle? That is 30,000 kgs. Okay, option C is your right answer. For today's practice, the question is that which central agency will be involved in procuring pulses under the PM Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana? Okay, or you can say, when we talk about the, here you can see, simply say the pulses mission. Okay, that can be a confusion. So here you can say in the pulses mission. Okay, FCI, NABARD, NAFED, and NCCF, ICAR or IFCO, and NCIS and SIDBI. Okay, so you can attempt this question and answer to me in the comment box. Okay, so with that, I would like to take your leave. I'll see you in the next session. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you, and please subscribe the channel. Thank you.